Hausa Fulani invasion of the Ijebo, Remo. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. Ijebo Remo is a town in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. Today, the Hausa Fulani has dominated this Yoruba town, which is very close to Lagos State. They trickling into the various neighborhoods of Remo, Ogun State, and are costly since 2017. People were happy because they provided cheap labor as farmhands, wood hewers, junk collectors, and shoemakers. Little did they know they were an advanced party of an occupationist movement. For instance, they also began to scavenge for scraps in your backyard, refuse dumps inside the forest, and even shrines. Yet, they know every inch of pathways, detours, and shortcuts around. Every day, produce and cattle trucks from the north discharge their goods at Odekbara, Ogere, and Shagamu interchange on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Curiously, hundreds of northerners disembark at this drop-off point, and within minutes they disappear and embed themselves. If anyone goes to Shagamu, Ogere, Elisa, these Abokis have taken over some areas while the people there are fast asleep. While these new settlers are awake, playing music, communing, and entreating themselves, the local people remain sleeping. All over Ijebo Remo, the Abokis are festering and becoming emboldened by a lack of awareness and alertness. Nobody wants to tackle them because the security apparatus around the state are now Fulani run. Even if they are apprehended for crimes committed, they are released within hours. In all this, I decided to go closer by forming a bond with a particular Musa. I got to know firsthand the reason for the influx. I found out that it is not economic reasons alone. Every one of these people are here for a more specific, serious purpose. These people were sent in order to relocate as invaders. They all have mobile phones and radio. They hold solidarity meetings every day. They are taught defensive and offensive maneuvers. Amongst them are a tiny percentage of genuine economic migrants, but they too are inside the network order to relocate and dominate. The epic center of the clandestine plot, a cattle market from Remo to Ibadan, and Aboki settlement around. From Lagos to Ogijo, Shagamu, Elashan Ikperu, Ikene, Isarago, Iwoye Road. They are command centers putting them in check and giving them new information from the north. Still, Remo people are asleep. Analyzing the movement and incidents, a certain prominent man in Guamo, Edo State, called for the services of these cutlass-wielding farmhands or farm workers. When they arrived fully armed, he became uncomfortable, so he asked them to disarm, but they refused, so he decided to disarm them. There and then, he was marched in front of his own house in his village. There was a pandemonium, and the man's eldest son mobilized youth for action. Within minutes, the whole Amadris vacated Igwemon on spotting the angry youths. Sadly then, 10 days later, the foreigners were all back again in the settlement, bolder and more determined. What happened? Oh, simple. The body of the eldest son who led the uprising was found in the river a week after the uprising, and his 4 cars were burnt. His father's house ransacked. There is palpable fear in Iguamon along Bini-Agbo Expressway before the bypass. Elasa Remo had a close call a couple of weeks ago. 4 Abokis were killed by an irate mob over an alleged Okada snatching and robbery. It took the timely intervention of security forces and community leaders to prevent an imminent mayhem. The community is now overwhelmed by the burgeoning Aboki population. That is how it is in other communities in Remo land. If anyone thinks he or she will see a situation when the Northerners will be scurrying back to the north because of one thing or the other, then that person is a joke. As a matter of fact, the Benue Plateau situation will play out soon all over the south, and original local people will soon be the refugees after being displaced from their land by their Abokis. So keep slumbering, keep thinking all is well, keep advocating peace and unity, keep fighting amongst yourself. While you are at it, they are strategizing on how to dominate the Southerners perpetually. That is, if they have not already dominated. Please share for a wider awareness. This is a very scary article. Whether you believe it or not, I have been opportune to listen to people who genuinely complained about the influx of these northerners in their areas. They are disturbed. They said these people are everywhere. Then I begin to tell the person, you say they are the same thing this man said. They come in as cheap labor, they drive Okada, They repair shoes, the sew clothes, the men clothes. What again? They do it. They even go as far as being employed as gateman. In fact, last month there was a news that went around that a particular man who came. He came in he came pretending to be someone who is looking for a manual job, and he was employed as a security man. Unfortunately, he was actually there as an undercover. He wants to get all the information necessary so that they can launch an attack. And I'm saying, like I said, this article is a frightful one. Only you reading it and you seeing how, welcoming the Southerners have been to these people, you begin to ask yourself, hope you people did not just shoot yourself on the leg or did not just, set up yourself to be blown away. This is scary. I don't know if this does not give it the chills. I don't know what else would. If you go to some places in the South, Southerners have been complaining that these people are almost everywhere. You see them, they gather in numbers, in groups, and you begin to ask yourselves, what exactly is going on? This is the reason why some people will keep kicking against this Muslim ticket. Whether I like it or not, this is the reason. Okay, you are brainless. Okay, whose constitution? No Remo in this country that has no idea of truth on it, as long as the idea is to occupy the land and take possession of it out of malice and treachery. Certainly, the end of the country is at hand and nobody should leave any stone unturned to ensure that Nigeria collapsing and broken into fragments. Lazy and indolent fools who think it's only population that can save them and make them reap what they have not sown. Exactly. Why would the Northern allies keep the truth from those people? Can't they just allow these people to embrace civilization? Can't they allow them to embrace civilization? If the Northerners, the way the Northerners behave, the way these people behave, if it is the same way that Southerners behave, do you think that they will have the opportunity to come and want to invade? Of course, they will not. They will not. If they are civilized, they will not. The place where they can't take over. Why don't they make their own place like that? That is what keeps ringing in my head. For those who think this is a lie, well, of course, I'm not going to be the one to convince you. The measures our Yoruba leaders have taken so far should be commended. Amateku is one. Ban on Okada in Lagos is another. The Northern rascals already seen the handwriting on the wall. We are already awake. Let us continue to support our governors and frontline Yoruba leaders. We Yorubas are capable of doing them the original Shigi Nafasa. With God on our side, the intruders will run. Just be security conscious and careful out there, no matter where you are. And stop this notion of where you are, it's safe. At this point, the whole Nigeria is in shambles. All right, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.